Well, I grew up in a very musical and Christian home. My parents both met in a band called Parable back in the early 70s, and that was part of that first kind of movement of Christian rock bands from the Southern California area. I've grown up in that kind of history, and as long as I've been alive, my parents have been worship leaders at churches, and so I grew up with that kind of example of just having great mentors of what it means to be a worship leader, both on stage and off, and what it means to use music to not glorify self, but glorify God. And we moved from Orange County to San Diego. I was about 12 years old and left kind of my home, my church, my friends, everything I knew. It was only about 75 miles away, but to junior high, I was like, a million miles away. And so I picked up guitar for the first time. Started learning some chords. In like 4 months, I had this stack of like 20 worship songs that I had learned by heart. And so the junior high pastor was just like, "Hey Phil, if you want, come and do some worship for us. We need a worship leader." And I was just freaked out. I didn't want to do it. But he kind of took me along under his wing, and I started doing it and just really seeing the blessing of the Lord on it, really enjoying it, and seeing that I kind of had a gift to be able to lead people and play music. And kind of right off the bat, it was something I absolutely loved to do, almost so much so that I would always think growing up, like, once I graduate from high school, I can't do this anymore. Actually, I have to get a real job, like this can't be true. But the Lord just kept giving me more opportunities, and I never took one opportunity for granted. Just loved every minute of it, and I went to community college for a couple years. I&O, they called me up along with some other labels, but I ended up going with I&O Records and just enjoying it still. Got my second record with I&O, and I'm really excited.